New Zealand has placed a record $8.6 million on this afternoon's Melbourne Cup, and favourite Makybe Diva didn't disappoint her trifecta of wins, confirming her as the greatest horse since Phar Lap. In her wake, but far from disgrace, the Mutta 4-year-old excellent, putting in a run equal to his name.
She's the people's champion, but today Makybe Diva wasn't just racing against 23 of the world's best thoroughbreds. She was racing against history.
Racing in the Cup.
Carrying 58 kgs, a weight no mares ever won with, jockey Glenn Boss settled the Diva back early.
And Portland Singer has the lead early in the Cup.
But he had her perfectly placed, heading into the home straight.
It's for a hero. She's starting to wind up. 300 left to go now. Makybe Diva's racing up. Envoy's trying to go with her. They've got to Portland Singer and Lachlan River. Here comes Like a Falcon and Excellent. But Makybe Diva clear with 100 metres to go. Excellent runs to second. Onazern runs on. But a champion becomes a legend. Makybe Diva has won it.
The sound of history being made.
Can't find the smallest child on this course, because they will be an example of the only person here that will live long enough to see something like that again. We'll never live to see it again.
With records tumbling left, right and centre, it was an historic third straight Melbourne Cup win for Glenn Boss.
Mate, they weren't going to pass her, mate. Look at this great mare. Have a look at her.
She can go round again.
Do it all again, I'm telling you. I owe so much to her. She's just given me most incredible joy in my professional career.
The emotion, a bit much for the champion Silk.
Oh, I'm struggling for words right now. Oh, what a great mare.
It's 75 years since Phar Lap won the Cup, but now, maybe, there's a horse the equal of Big Red, as far as the crowd was concerned anyway.
Well, I don't want to run Phar Lap down, but I never saw Phar Lap win 3 Melbourne Cups.
And we may never see it again. Paul Moore, One News.
If we can find a Kiwi connection somewhere. New Zealand's professional rugby players should be smiling tonight. After a year of negotiations, the Players Association and NZRU have agreed on a new collective contract. They've well and truly forced open the NZRU's chequebook, securing groundbreaking deals that finally recognises their value in the game.
Cheers, sir. Well done.
It's been a great day for Players Association boss Rob Nicol.
Are we pleased with it? Very, very pleased with it.
And that's no surprise. The collective players agreement announced today contains some very player-friendly initiatives. Confirming One News' story of 7 weeks ago, the players will receive a groundbreaking 32.4% share of the revenue they generate for the NZRU. Under the new agreement, player-generated income is expected to average $80 million a year, putting $27 million in players' pockets, an increase of $2 million.
We want the players to be incentivised to generate more revenue. So sharing revenue is a sensible way of achieving that goal. We want the players to be given as much security as they possibly can, so that staying in New Zealand is a genuine long-term career option.
In addition, players will also receive guaranteed retainers, which means they will be paid in full even if they miss a season through injury or poor form.
That's starting to get competitive with overseas. And that's what this deal will give us, is the ability, if you like, to be able to retain those players.
In return, the NZRU wanted a salary cap for next year's new MPC, and they got it. But at $2 million and with some exclusions for All Blacks, it's still weighted in favour of the players.
I think there are still challenges for 3 or 4 of the major provincial unions, but they look manageable, and we too have got to examine it pretty carefully and get on with with living with a cap in place.
So it seems the players are the winners in all of this?
Both parties leave not totally ecstatic, but very happy that we've got a good compromise.
Katie Bayliss, One News.
The All Blacks are expecting a lot of emotion and fireworks from Wales in their Guy Fawkes Night Test match in Cardiff. But as a raft of injuries rip the core out of their opponents, the All Blacks are focusing inwards to nullify the passion of the home team and its crowd.
The All Blacks stepped up a gear today, realising what fire they'll face from the Dragons.
Welsh are very passionate, patriotic people, and we take pride in our jersey as well, so I'm sure it's going to be an electrifying atmosphere.
Like the All Blacks, Wales will announce their test team tomorrow. But with a number of players out with injury, it'll be a different side to that which narrowly lost by 1 point to the All Blacks last year. Wales will have to dig deep in the player pool, with lions like Henson, Shanklin, Ryan Jones and Gethin Jenkins ruled out.
It's a huge challenge, but that's why you put yourself in these positions, to challenge yourself against the best.
We're not reading into any players that are in or out. We just worry about what we have to do.
And what that might be?
Yeah, that's a pretty difficult question, actually. I don't know if I really want to tell you.
But they were happy to talk to the old foe.
First of all, Enid, I've got an all-black pin to present to you.
Some of the team dropped in on 95-year-old Enid Williams, whose father and uncle both played for Wales against the All Blacks in the infamous 1905 Test. Lovely young men, but Enid wasn't totally won over.
And she said, oh, good, I'll cheer for the All Blacks on Saturday. Didn't you?
Not likely, Anton. Paul Hobbs, One News, Cardiff.
Auckland V8 driver John McIntyre has had a taste of the Australian scene and wants more. The New Zealand Championship starts at Pukekohe this weekend and the series is expected to be more competitive than ever, which is perfect for those drivers looking to impress the big teams across the Tasman.
Last season, John McIntyre didn't even have the luxury of a pre-season test and finished third in the championship. This time, the Ford driver's going all out, sometimes pushing a little too hard. But thanks to a new sponsor, he believes he now has the tools to win his first title.
We've been able to rebuild the car completely. We have now installed a Motec data acquisition system, which we didn't have last year. And I think when you're looking for critical gains that are only a tenth of a second or even less, you just need that little bit of backup to tell you that what you think you're doing on the car is right or wrong.
If he gets it right, he hopes it'll turn heads, particularly in Australia. He's already had a taste of supercar racing, driving in the Bathurst and Sandown endurance races last year, and this season's V8 Ute Championship.
The great thing with this series is they are starting to have a bit of a look now over here at our New Zealand drivers.
Ironically, the one notable absentee from the final test was the man they're all trying to catch. Andy Booth is expected to be Mr. Reliable again.
In 4 seasons of racing, we've never not finished a race.
Instead of testing, he was satisfied they've done enough to tinker away quietly at the workshop.
With the experience we've got over the last few years, and we learned a lot last year about what makes this car work, and I think going in with that knowledge, just fine-tuned with last year's car, we'll have a strong package.
A little bit of luck helps too. Victory last season was aided by his rivals taking themselves out in the final round. Wayne Hay, One News.
The management of the Knights Football Club took the bizarre step today of holding a media conference to say that coach John Adsett was staying put. The club's struggling at the bottom of the A-League with just 1 win out of 10 games. Management say Adsett is the man for the job for both this season and next season. Despite the backing, Adsett is taking a fair amount of the blame for the team's poor performance, saying he signed too many similar players.
These players we've got in there, they don't have a week in the side that I pick. And they don't strengthen it either. It's all much of a muchness, and it's just changing the name, not changing the structure of the team.
The Knights host Newcastle on Friday. England Ashes hero Andrew Flintoff is the latest sports star to swap bat and ball for pen and paper. His book is now topping the bestsellers list in the UK, with sports books enjoying a resurgence in popularity.
He may not be a natural salesman, but really Andrew Flintoff hardly needs to be. Such is his pulling power, and not just with the media, who've taken him to their hearts, but the public, who are eager to read his life story so far.
I just love his attitude toward the whole game. He's just so inspirational. It's fantastic. It's made my day.
Being Freddie is enough to draw huge crowds. The man himself is still bewildered by the attention he and his teammates are getting.
Freddie, just looking up this way. To your left, Freddie. Good man.
Coming back from test matches and having people outside your house with cameras and following not just myself but the family in cars and cameras around at my mum and dad's and just getting hounded, but luckily it's died down a little bit.
Publishers are hoping it won't die down completely. Currently knocking all others in the field for 6, the final hurried chapter outlines how the Ashes were won. The best-selling trend in sports biography really took off with Martin Johnson's Rugby World Cup win. Playing well on the pitch is no longer enough. Being part of a massive marketing operation has become essential.
Lance Armstrong has hit back at French cycling aficionados who continue to cast aspersions on his record 7 consecutive Tour de France wins. It came while hosting the satirical US show Saturday Night Live and allowed the champion cyclist to do it. It was made at Flemington. That's sports news, Kate.
Thanks very much, Neil. Now, close-ups along at 7. Susan, what have you got?
Thanks, Kate. Well, 250,000 Kiwis take them, but are drugs designed to help control high cholesterol doing more harm than good? Stevie Nicks, the hot chick of the 70s, talks about Fleetwood Mac, Fame and the Melbourne Cup fillies. And Catherine Zeta-Jones, star of Zorro, and on Antonio, the All Blacks and Wales this weekend.
Thanks very much. Well, after the break, Karen says the settled weather continues.